What's going on, everybody? Billy Rains here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Principle 2 of the Smith system, which is getting the big picture. Let's talk about it. So anyway, guys, this is the second part of a 5-part series of videos I'm making about the Smith system, which is basically just a driving system that was developed in 1952 to pretty much teach driving companies, to teach their drivers how to be better drivers. I'll link the playlist up above. Check it out. I'm also kind of taking these principles of the Smith system and kind of trying to apply them to everyday life. Basically, I talk a little bit about the driving system portion of it, and then I move on to like how you can apply these in your everyday life. Something I've been meditating on. I've been thinking about this Smith system. So basically, principle 2 is getting the big picture. Some of these Smith system principles, they sound kind of similar, but getting the big picture is basically just keeping all the information, right? It's the portion of the driving system where it's like, look at your mirrors, right? Because you can get so focused on looking ahead that you don't necessarily look at your mirrors. And another part of it is also, you may not be the distracted driver, right? You may be focused. You may be doing everything you're supposed to do. But keeping the big picture is trying to watch out for things you can't control. That's the distracted drivers. I know you guys driving down the road, you've looked over at that, truck passing you by in the hammer lane, and they got their phone up to their ear, blah, 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 blah. I know everybody's seen it, and you're like, oh my God, how does this happen? How can this guy drive down the road talking on his phone on his ear? That's supposed to be a big ticket. In case you're wondering, yes, it is a big ticket to talk on your cell phone like that going down the road. It's $2,750 for you and $11,000 for your carrier. So don't play with your cell phone going down the road. Get you a sweet headset, or like a Blue Tiger, like the guy from Bonehead Truckers suggested. But when it comes to cell phones in your truck, even hands-free devices like this, check with your company first. They may not even be cool with you using a Bluetooth hands-free headset. If you talk to a company and they don't allow that, probably should find a different company. No, I'm just kidding. Just make sure whatever you're doing is okay with your company. If you are a company, maybe you guys own your own trucks, I don't know. Even though you're doing everything right, there's going to be guys out there not doing the right thing. And you need to pay attention. You need to watch your mirrors. You need to keep 7 seconds following distance. A lot of mega carriers, and a lot of you experienced drivers, you don't need this stuff. But a lot of mega carriers, they teach you to be the pebble in the stream. Pebble in the stream. Basically, they want you to go a little slower, keep your following distance. Not so slow that you impede traffic, but, a little slower. That's why most trucks are governed to 65, because, it's fast enough to get down the road, but it's slow enough to where cars are still passing you. You don't want to be the fastest thing. They don't want you to be the fastest thing on the road, making mistakes and, causing lots of damage. Just pay attention to your surroundings. Keep the big picture, right? Even if you are not a distracted driver, even if you are the best driver, you can't control everything. You can't control that four-wheeler that's with the lady trying to do her makeup. You can't control the 18-wheeler with the guy on his phone, blah, 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 and his foot up on the counter or the dash. You can't control the lady trying to eat her food while talking on the phone. You can't control any of that. All you can control is what's inside your truck. And part of that is doing your best to kind of litigate or mediate some of those things that aren't in your control, but you can see them coming. Like that stuff, And that's why you watch your mirrors. You try to see what's coming. You try to, see when a truck is trying to pass you. Maybe if they're passing you and they're obviously faster, but it's going to take them, they're 1 mile per hour faster, or they're lighter or whatever, and they're going to get around you anyway. Maybe just hit that old Jake brake slow it down a little bit, let them get around you. And once they're around you, slowly but surely, they'll pull away from you. And then what did it cost you? Maybe a couple seconds, for them to get around you. But you could be, blocking both lanes of traffic trying to pass each other for 5 miles. That's part of those 65-mile-per-hour trucks. Just keep the big picture, process all the information, and try to do your best. But that brings me, and it's actually a really smooth transition, like you can apply that to your everyday life. Just because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, it doesn't mean everybody else is going to be doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And it's not necessarily your fault, but it is something that you need to deal with. I heard this really good piece of advice. I don't know how much this applies to it, but not every problem is your fault, but sometimes it's your responsibility to clean it up. Sometimes it's just the right thing to do. And that's, we all got to keep the big picture in our life. We all got to process all the information. Sometimes we have to be the grown-up in the room. Sometimes we can't just blow things off. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is we all need to keep the big picture. We all need to be processing all the information, not just in our trucks, but in our everyday lives. We need to be getting better, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get better by meditating on these things, learning from them, and then passing the information as I see it on to each and every one of you. So make sure you're keeping the big picture out there. I'll see you guys out there. Catch you in the next one. Peace.